with our first circuit. And these circuits we do in one practice. So we basically have a 15-minute practice time. This is actually video from practice number one. I believe it was in the spring. And so since it's obviously 15 minutes, you got 5 minutes to each station, or one period per station. So this particular station right here are called a line and a sign. And obviously we're a shield punt. And so we're going to practice the full line and a sign. So we're going to start with the center. He's going to put the ball on the top of the 50 right there. And then if we can look at the tick marks, we can actually, on the sideline, we can see and make sure that our alignments are where they should be. So we've got the two guards that should be 2 yards outside. And I don't mind if they're just a touch wider, because we'd rather be wider than tighter. And then our tackles and ends, they are 3 yards. And then our ends from the tackles are 3 yards from them as well. So you can see the alignment there. The main thing too, and I've got the video playing here as well. You can see that the PP and the right shield and the left shield, they are 7.5. We always have the right shield sets the depth, so he's 7.5, and you can see the punter back there as well. And really, what we're working on is just making sure our guys have a great stance and making sure that they are. And so we'll look at some of these stances here a little bit. So you can see we want make sure our feet are shoulder width to armpit width apart. We want our chest up, so you can see right here, the player over here, the left tackle. We want his chest up a little bit more, but you can see right there, we want them to be able to read the defense. And then we want to make sure that they understand that it's okay for them to be wider than tighter. And then we're going to work the operations of it. The PP is going to get up and make his calls, maybe even, which means it's even on both sides. And then we're going to give a color, and that color is going to determine, our blocking patterns. And then he's going to give a set call. And then from there, ball set. And then the guys are going to work the steps. Now, if they are with me on the first step, but we do have some veteran guys, so you can see they're all stepping, and it looks like we're doing a red call stage or step that they would go to. All right, now our second circuit right here is our coaches that are actually working the jab step. We teach two types of steps. We teach the jab step and we teach the drop step. The difference is the jab step is when a defender or the pump block team is in your frame. And so we're going to work that. And then we're going to also work hand placement. We want them to drive for 5, put them in our hip pocket. And then also one of the things that we do in our program is we use the same terminology. So whatever our defense is calling things, we're going to call that same thing on our punt team to make sure that we are communicating properly. So you can see we're stepping right here, and we'll just kind of break that down a little bit for you here. So you can see that all of them are in their stances that I was talking about a while ago. And we want to get the stances cleaned up right here so we can see right. We got one of the players right there, jersey number 3. His toes are pointed out. We don't want that. We want them to be on the balls of their feet so that they can step properly. And then first step, then we're going to take our right hand and we're going to put it on the V of the neck, right there, not the old school V of the neck like a lot of coaches would. The old school V of the neck would be right here. If you can see me describing that, but really the V that it makes from the shoulder pads. And then from there, we're going to place that left hand that's going to be on the side of the shoulder pad. Then we're going to drive them. And we're going to do what we call drive for 5. We're not really necessarily driving for 5 here in this drill. Now, the main thing is just for them to understand the drive, put them in our hip pocket, and then we release, for our cover team right there. So you can kind of see what we're doing here. So you can see number 6 up there in the top right-hand corner there of the jab group. And we're not talking about this top group up here. We'll get to the shield here in just a little bit, but you can see him stepping right there. You can see his right hand on the V of the neck. His left hand's where it's supposed to be. Just like to see his pad level get down just a little bit more, driving for 5 in the hip pocket, and then he's ready for coverage. So you can see that's the second stage of this. Now we're going to do a ring around the rosy. And on the ring around the rosy, what we're teaching is coverage. And keep in mind, all of this is taught in one day. So by the time our practice is over, we can line up, we know how to step and where to punch, and we know how to cover. And then we also know the operations of what we're doing as well. So really, we do not teach assigned lanes. We actually teach it based off who gets out first. So the first First one out is what we call hot, and then he is hot to the ball. So he will tackle to spill. The second one out is alley. The third one out is force. And then we've got our shield back there that is contained, and then our PP goes right to the ball. So we'll kind of show you a little bit how this particular drill works here. And so you've got, if you see on the drill, you've got your snapper, you've got your shield, and you can see your punter, but your punter's out of the screen right here. This is our left guard, left tackle, left in. This is our right guard, right tackle, right in. So we basically said set, or I'm sorry, go. When we say go, they go around, right, around the bag. And then when we say set, we're practicing the operations. The shield will pop in. You can see the shield popping in and practicing that. And then now we are down the field. So the first one out, so you can see is hot to the ball. So he's going to go hot. So he's going to tackle to spill. So if he doesn't make the tackle, we want him to cross face. The second one, and they're actually yelling that. We want them to yell what they are too. Second one out is alley, alley, alley. So he'll go 5 yards outside the hot, and then we're force, which will be the third one out. And he's 5 yards outside. Now, so in this instance, you can see them running. They're doing what we call long stride, and as they long stride, then they're going to start to shimmy. And when they do that, they're also going to be working near foot, near shoulder. So that means all of them right here need to be putting the right foot forward, the right, shoulder, so near foot, shoulder, and that's how they're working that. So he can cross face and make the play on that. So again, you can see the white jerseys. We've got some offensive players, so we got to be able to teach that. So we teach that to our offensive players as well because they're part of the punt team. So big deal what we do. On the back end, you can see really the shield. So you can see the left shield not knowingly pushing him out and letting him know, and because he's got to be the widest. So the ball there, so you can see the drill that we're doing. Obviously, first anyway, we're going to learn from the guys' mistakes that they do during this. So there you can see it being ran just kind of full right there. And again, we've got a lot to clean up right there. So, but you can see how the drill works. This is our last drill that we do, and this we kind of take the shield right here and we work them. And so we've got our right shield, our PP, and our left shield. Obviously, we've got one of our snappers and our punters. And then the way we work in this, we're probably working red right off the bat. Red would put the right shield on the R4, so he would be the R4, he'd be the R5, and then he would be the L5. And so what they're doing is they're just really just going to work on fitting. And the way we do this is the right shield sets the depth. So his toes are 7.5 yards. You can see the ball there on the mark. There's 5 yards. And then you got your 7.5 yards. And then he also is going to make sure that the width is based off his girth and how much he can fit in there. And so the width is based off him. And so we're going to go through the cadence. So even, red, even, brown, some of the different colors that we do. And then from there, the ball gets snapped. And then they're stepping up. And then what we're doing is just practicing the fit. And what we mean by that on the fit is really are they punching at the right time? Are they punching in the right spot? And so that's what we're trying to achieve right here in this particular drill. Sorry about that. So you can see again. So here we go. So ball gets snapped. He fits in. And then everybody should be punching basically front squat. So we got to protect the inside. So I don't like in this drill how we're actually creating some gaps inside there because we don't want 97 or any of those other guys to be able to get right in between there and be able to block that punt because that's potentially where a lot of them are blocked. And you're going to see a video here in just a sec about that. So you can see some of the things that we're working on right here. And then we'll also add a fourth one in there too. And, sometimes get them twisting and so forth just to let them understand that they're going to block. Yes, they've got a responsibility, but it's not where they line up necessarily. It's where they wind up is what we say. All right, on this one right here, we've got an actual game video here that we're going to show you. And on the game video here, you can see up in the top right here, the situation. It's fourth quarter. There's a minute 51. We're actually up 27-21. They are in an overload. And I'll just go over red and blue first and then just some of our different things. So if we went just regular red right here, he would block here. He would block here. The guard would go out here. So that would leave 3 right here. So the entire shield would have those 3. So he would work down here, here, and here. The punter and snapper would have him. And so technically by rule, we would have everybody. If we went blue, Then by rule on blue, he would go here. He would go here. The guard would come out to here. The left shield would have him. So let's work our way down on the blue. The punter and snapper would have this one. So he would go down here. The right tackle would go here. The right guard would be here. And then the shield would have there. So again, we have all the people that we need to be able to